Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. We are out on the launch pad today with a kind of touched up shuttle. I can't really call it new. I've made a couple of changes. Sorry, I'm just checking some staging because I added a few things in the cargo bay, and I just want to make sure that they're not going to go off at an untimely manner. So I should probably find them quickly. Alright, there they are. Excellent. Anyway, so trying to correct the Reentry problems, I've angled these wings out just a little bit. I've tipped the tail fin back a little bit and played with the weight balance, but we'll probably get to that a little bit later. In the meantime, though, I would like to get this little guy off the ground. So throttle is set to full. Ignition sequence start. It's going to take an extra second or two for those J2s to catch up with those E1s on their ignition. Looks like we're totally lit. Oh god. Get the clamps off. Just go, go, go. Alright. Wow. Okay. That was an unexpected little bit of pitch there. As per usual, we'll be speeding through most of this launch process in fast forward. These things do tend to take quite a bit of time. But anyway, since I did make some changes to the shuttle, I didn't really feel comfortable using the Restless name for this shuttle. So this is STS-3, the Riata. Big internet points to anybody who can get the historical reference there. But anyway, we have an all-star crew today of Valentina and Bill taking the controls today for deployment of our low orbital cargo. And at least half of this team is really excited to be at the controls today. I'm doing a little bit of a nose-down maneuver here to try to limit our apogee, as we are still not operating anywhere near to our cargo capacity. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and ditch the external tank and let that go spiraling off into the night. Should probably have done something about those. Alright, so now we can shut down our J2 engines and roll ourselves, hopefully. Wow, not cooperating at all. Alright, and we'll go ahead and activate both of our STS-2s. Alright, our current apoapsis is 748 kilometers, which is excellent. At nice and high. I would just like to bring this up to around 400 or so. So after we've completed this roll maneuver, I'm going to jump out to the map view and take a look and see what that entails. Yeah, you can really see the angling on those wings now. Yep, now. There we go. I'm hoping that helps with stability on reentry. FAR seemed to like it a little bit more, but we'll have to see. FAR seemed to like the original design a lot also. Alright, let's jump out to the map and jump around to our apogee. And I would just like the perigee to be around 400 or so. Yeah, 59. That's not going to happen. Yeah, I do have a reason for this. Just let me fidget with nodes. 413, that ought to do it. It's only 178 meters per second. That should be fine. So, if you remember a few episodes ago when we did the space station deployment and then the space station return home, it did not give me credit for it. And actually, it has deleted my space station from everything. It is no longer in orbit, which is distressing, but I'm really glad I didn't leave any crew aboard. That would have been absolutely horrible. But it looks like all we have to do is get our apoapsis and our periapsis. We've returned the crew home safe. We've kept it up there for 30 days. So, I'm hoping that we can just go ahead and get paid for that contract that we totally legitimately fulfilled already. Alright. No, I don't want to open that up yet. That's my electric charge. Drain. Where is electric charge? There it is. .38. Oh, we got so much battery life. It is not even funny. So we're going to go ahead and warp on out to this node. Zoom on out just a bit. I'm sure this node's not going to take 0 seconds. We'll probably give it about a 2-minute lead time. So I'll come out of warp a full minute and some change early. And we'll just go ahead and try to ullage these engines with our thrusters. Both of them. There we go. Now this thing does not like to be stable. Ever, for any reason. That's awesome. I think there might be some unspent liquid hydrogen out in these outside fuel tanks that might be throwing our weight balance off. At least that's what I was hoping, because that would be an easy explanation. Doesn't seem to be the case, though. Yep, okay. Looks like we're totally... Yep. Where is that? Is that this wing section? Yep. This wing section has liquid hydrogen in it. Alright, well. Out. Oh, God. This will help balance things out a bit. Because, yeah, wow, look at that. These oscillations are just crazy. I don't know why that fuel tank didn't get burned. It really should have. Like, first thing on the ground kind of first thing. Alright. And our fuel balance is burned, and we are in orbit. How cool is that? That one's done, that one's done, that one's done, that one's done. Okay, just checking, sorry. It still does not seem to want to straighten up and fly right. So we're just trying to get our periapsis to above 400 kilometers. See if it awards us that contract. It would be neat, wouldn't it? And this thing is just kind of floating around, pointing whichever way it wants to. It's not a good sign. If it can't even stay angled in space, how the hell is it supposed to do that in the atmosphere? Very interesting. Alright, well, let's see how much of this we can't speed through. Okay, not very much without going way off the mark. That's super interesting. Alright, good enough. Come on. Just get above 400. Alright, well, node's not doing me any favors. There we are, 747 by 411. What does the contract say? Yay, we're not in orbit. Keep station in orbit. That makes me so mad. Just give me the... I completed the contract. I completed this one too, and it didn't give me that stay in space for 90 days. But that one's not taking up a slot in how many contracts I can have, and therefore is less irritating. This one, however, is making me very angry. Anyway, we could get to our payload now. Go ahead and open these cargo doors. Does that peculiar looking device look any kind of familiar? No? The folding wing should be a pretty good clue as to what this thing is intended for. Activate fuel cell. Try to burn off as much of this hydrogen and oxygen as we can. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to make sure I can get the antennas on it deployed. They should be... Oh, well, they're on the other side. That's great. We'll just clip through all the stuff here. No big deal. Okay, and let's just not click on anything. We just had it. It is on and connected. Perfect. Huh. Our fuel tanks... Oh, yeah, well, I guess we're at apoapsis, so it wouldn't have deorbited itself. Alright, we're going to go ahead and deploy our payload. Decouple, we'll switch over to it. And good, it seems to be drifting out of the cargo bay all on its own. We'll just kind of let this happen. That's always cool. Alright, the heat shield is just here for this test run's purposes. Oh, I forgot to... Okay, well, hopefully its fuel tanks haven't been used in flight. It won't let me click on stuff. Won't let me click on stuff. Okay. It looks like the fuel for this thing is as yet untouched. Okay, good. We've got positive response from the thrusters. This is a new prototype for another Project Air. Hopefully a small glide lander that we'll be dispatching to Mars at our next window. If everything goes well. What's our electric charge looking like? We are at net zero. Cool. This is nuclear powered. It has a small RTG there on the back of it. Its own comm systems, solar panels just in case, and a small array of sciencey equipment. So over the course of a next episode or so, we will be deorbiting this thing into Earth's atmosphere, which I guess we should do this now while our periapsis is so high. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and do that now. I just want to double check the landing gear. Does deploy. Excellent. It has tires and brakes and all the cool stuff. I should probably see where our periapsis is. It is at night, and it is in the middle of the ocean. So 48 minutes, so things will have shifted a little bit. But it looks like it's going to have to wait, because it's remote controlled, and unless we've got contact, I don't know if we'll be able to deploy the landing gear. So I'm actually going to wait until we get out into an area of orbit where we are not in contact with stuff, and see what we can still control. So it looks like right over here, before we get to Australia, is probably, yep, there it is, no connection. Can we deploy landing gear? We cannot deploy landing gear without a connection. That is super interesting, and lets me know how our descent onto Mars is going to have to be. We're going to have to program all of these cool things in the flight computer. We'll still have telemetry control, forward, backward, stuff like that, because flight computer doesn't count those. But our landing, we will have to kind of plan for a bit. So we're gonna... Man, I don't want it to be at night. That sucks. Alright, looks like our apoapsis here, 55 minutes. I don't want to try to glide this thing down over the ocean either. Although really, if I make it a small enough apoapsis with... No, because the heat shield's going to take... And heat shield's going to slow us down a lot. So I guess we're going for another orbit. Not going to be a whole lot of options as far as landing this thing in the southern hemisphere. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to have to try to bring it down over Africa and just hope for the best, right? I don't know, we could use flight computer. We could use it as a dry run, maybe. But it's definitely going to be during the day. That part we know. Yeah, I guess that's what we're waiting for. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna... Uh-oh. Okay, I thought the game crashed for a second there. It had a really long stutter, which it has been doing to me a lot lately. Like this one. I missed it. Oh, I missed it. I missed my window. Scheiße. I'm gonna have to give it one more orbit. What kind of delta V are we looking at for a deorbit maneuver? I do wonder. Does this not even have enough to do it? Uh-oh. $42 is a bit low. That'll give us an idea. 201. Okay, we can totally do that. Let's get ourselves angled appropriately here. Fantastic. Here goes. This will actually be the very first flight of this thing. I have bounced it out onto the runway a few times, and it does not really take off under its own power. Here, I should say. It's powered by four 1 kilonewton thrusters, which are not really designed for atmospheric use, but in a rarefied atmosphere like Mars, I imagine their ISP will be a little bit better. But the weight of the spacecraft. I also did not test this thing with most of its fuel burned, which is, I imagine, as it's coming in, or if it's trying to take off for its second flight after landing from reentry, that it will be considerably lighter on fuel than when it's coming back in. Alright. We are at 2 minutes. Ooh, I do not want to stage that off. I would like to toggle these things in. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's control from here. Obviously, that means I'm facing the wrong way now. Yeah. Alright. Estimated burn will take 19 minutes. That's on the back of these RCS thrusters, so... Alright. Peg the throttle, stage in those engines. There we go. Uh-oh. Yeah, our center of mass is a little off. That RTG is probably what's throwing it. Actually, I'm certain that's what's throwing it, because this doesn't weigh a whole hell of a lot, and everything else is pretty well balanced. But now you can get a much better look at the spacecraft. Glider. Abomination. However you want to phrase it. Alright, I should be paying attention to my apoapsis, my periapsis now. So if I screwed up this time, I will have lost not a whole lot of money, because it's here in low Earth orbit and it was launched on a reusable setup. I didn't have to get all the way out to Mars to let it fail. Here's hoping though, right? All I wanted to do was glide. For a while. Doesn't even have to be a long time. Okay. I'm going to take a quick save. Which will show up any minute now. Okay, there it is. And check the map. I can get rid of that now and see that my periapsis will probably not have contact with anything. So in 43 minutes, I am not going to program Flight Computer for anything, and just hope that it works out for the best. So here we go. With thunk. There's atmosphere. Let's get it angled in. Fantastic. Alright, little guy. How much fuel you got left? 2 minutes worth. Just, you know, going a lot faster re-entering Earth than we would be re-entering Mars. So I don't know if those wings are going to survive, but the actual mission will probably have a much broader heat shield, because it'll be going up on a rocket, not flying up on the space shuttle. So let's... how much of this will it tolerate, I wonder? The answer is quite a lot. Very, very thankfully. Connected by satellite. How convenient. Okay, I think we just lost the struts from the heat shield to the lander itself. Nothing else is showing us a heat warning at the moment. Thank goodness. So far so good. We're still way out in the ocean though, which is not good. Oh wow. crap. Yeah, these wings are definitely picking up some heat, but it looks like everything else is doing just fine, which is perfect. This is just the largest heat shield that would fit in the cargo bay of the shuttle. Oh, we can't lose that decoupler, not yet. Not for just a little while longer, man. Oh, that's a rough deceleration. Alright, well, we're gonna hit peak G load here in a second. Oh man, that is really rough. 9.5 G. No, it is not liking that at all. I don't know what that shaking is all about. G load is decreasing. Awesome. Alright, let's... God, why is it doing this shaky thing? Unfurl? Unfurl? See if that doesn't cause a bunch of chaos. It does. Alright, let's see if we can't decouple the heat shield. And whoa. Whoa! That is a lot of roll authority. Let's cut down on some of that, shall we? Alright. And yeah, still probably just not enough air over the surfaces here to get us to pitch up. We're going to fire up these engines and try to bleed off as much of this fuel as we can. It could also be that we're just nose heavy. Yeah, still refusing solidly to bring its nose up. Okay, well, turning SAS on might help a bit. Alright. We are starting to get some nose up. Excellent. It doesn't like it, though. Of that I am sure. Okay, well, maybe it's not because we're nose heavy. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. What's the quickest way to land, I wonder? Oh, it's not gonna happen. We're coming down in the ocean, everybody. And decelerating. Wonder. I'll say roll works great. Pitching up, not so much. Pitching down, also not so much. Nose upping. Pulling up is just not gonna be a thing currently. Well, I guess better we know now than at Mars when this was exactly our problem. I wonder if these things just don't create as much lift as they say they do. I've never used these parts other than the previous air mission and this test flight. It really just seems like we're not getting any lift at all. Yeah, I can... Any other direction I have lots of authority, except for nose up. Now maybe let's give these guys some pitch authority. Wow, no. Negative pitch authority, that seems to work. That's not bad, but man, I think we're still going to be plowing into the ocean, going pretty fast. Less than Mach 2 though. And we'll go ahead and try to burn off the last little bits of our fuel here. Yeah, so this is a This is a pretty constant fight to keep that nose up. If I let go, which I'm scared to do at this altitude. Yeah, right back down. Okay. Very interesting. But, hey, we're flying. It's doing stuff. I think we're out of speed. We're going to have to... I don't know what the stall speed on this would be. I was hoping it would be obscenely low to make some kind of gliding around at Mars maybe a thing, but this might be a dud cause. That makes me really sad. We're out of fuel, which means no help from the thrusters and no more pitching up authority. So messing with this wing did me no favors. Very interesting. Well, that sucks because it fit in the cargo bay so nicely. It fits into our fairing so very nicely. Because extra drag is totally what we need. Yeah. Man, bummer. I don't know if I can reconcile this thing to work. And into the drink it goes. Fish food. Nothing left. That makes me really sad. Alright, well, that's probably going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I'll see you later.